You know that burning confusion of receiving constant mixed signals, that feeling of being treated as an afterthought while giving someone your absolute best. The default instinct in this situation is highly vulnerable. You end up asking what went wrong, complaining, sending desperate double texts, and practically begging for clarity. Every time you react emotionally like that, you are feeding her ego and stripping yourself of any leverage you had in the dynamic. To stop losing, you must suppress those emotional outbursts. You have to step back and engage strictly on a psychological level. Today, I will walk you through 3 savage defensive mind games designed to expose toxic behavior and instantly break their control over you. A quick warning: use these psychological tools strictly for your own self-defense. Once you see someone's true intentions, you can never go back to seeing them any other way. Let's start with a scenario. She consistently makes grand promises to you, but when you actually need her, she reliably cancels plans at the very last minute. Reacting with anger or shouting here is a strategic failure. It projects emotional weakness on your part and gives her an excuse to get defensive and distance herself further. Instead, you deploy the guilt trap. You calmly acknowledge her absence while asserting your own importance by saying, "I completely understand. If I were actually important to you, I know you would have found the time." This diagram illustrates the tactic. It acts as an emotional mirror, reflecting her actions back onto her conscience, forcing her down 2 distinct paths. A genuine person exhibits remorse and apologizes. A manipulator, however, will project irrational anger or make empty excuses. That single, carefully constructed sentence functions as a perfect diagnostic test. You filter out toxic intentions without ever having to engage in an actual fight. Sometimes the manipulation escalates to active withdrawal. Suddenly, she starts ignoring your texts or radiating a highly dismissive, cold attitude. The natural instinct is to chase after her and anxiously demand an explanation for the sudden shift. You counter this with the reverse mirroring effect. You don't ask questions. You silently and precisely match her exact lack of effort and attention. The manipulator uses silence to weigh the scale in their favor, expecting emotional pursuit. By withdrawing completely, you force the scale into a rigid equilibrium. Deprived of your reaction, she must battle her own anxiety, wondering why you are suddenly so unbothered. Behavioral mirroring neutralizes her leverage. You take away her power by starving her of the emotional reaction she requires to maintain dominance. Then there is the challenge of direct gaslighting, obvious fabrications, or testing insults designed to make you snap during a conversation. People assume the loudest guy holds the authority. In reality, the pause of power freezes the room, proving that physical silence is far stronger. When she tries to test you, do not yell back or desperately try to justify yourself. Lock dead eye contact and maintain absolute, unwavering physical silence for just 1 to 3 seconds. That specific duration of silence is heavy. It creates immense psychological pressure, immediately breeding deep anxiety and insecurity in the person sitting across from you. Desperate to fill that awkward void and break the pressure, she will start exhibiting chaotic behavior. She will over-explain, stutter, and might even accidentally expose her own secrets. You just sit back and stay calm. Absolute silence traps the manipulator inside their own frantic words, ending their control over the interaction. Applying these strategies pulls you out of an emotionally reactive state and locks you into a grounded, highly disciplined posture. Utilizing these specific defensive boundaries destroys external control mechanisms, effectively protecting your internal energy reserves from toxic behavior. Shifting the power dynamic in your favor ends the cycle of manipulation on your terms. If this breakdown provided value to your life and helped elevate your mindset, be sure to subscribe so you do not miss out on more powerful content. But internal mental confidence is only half the equation. It must be paired with an external physical presentation. If you want to know exactly how to walk, stand, and project confidence from the moment you step into a room, I have broken the entire body language guide down in the video on your screen right now. Click to watch, and I'll see you there.